Come with me if you want to live.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
This is it. Don't get scared.
Welcome back to a very magical and mystical Flick Pick live show. This is it. Don't get scared. And thanks for joining me once again, everyone. And before we dive into the questions and the mayhem, and you guys eat your delicious salty buttered popcorn, and you get your fingers all sticky, you know what I'm talking about. I first want to tell you some quick updates, some real life stuff. This has been a very stressful week. The last couple of days have been very stressful. As you know, I was working a full-time job. I was pretending to be a normal, civilized member of society, or what some people call an adult. And I did it. I did it for a year and a half. And I bit my tongue a lot. And for me, the reason I talk about movies and I critique movies is because I just have this personality mindset to where I look at everything, I step back, I look at the bigger picture, and I can instantly see what's wrong and what's right. And when you work under a dictatorship, where it feels like you're in communist China every day, and First Amendment rights are not part of that equation, it starts to wear on you. And it chisels you down, you know? So I'm happy to announce, and I'm very happy to announce this. I'm coming back to YouTube. I'm coming back full force. So yeah, I think this is what I need to do. I had to step away just long enough to learn to miss this. And I was still dipping my toes in the water along the way, but I woke up one morning and I came to the conclusion, this is where I should be, talking to a video camera in my underwear. And I'm just so grateful all of you watch this. So thank you guys. I'm coming back. We're coming back. The time is now. I need a creative outlet. I need to voice my thoughts, my opinions on movies and other random shit. And thanks to all the people that are watching now and have been watching and have dedicated your lives to clicking that subscribe button and looking at whatever this is. So I do appreciate it. So thank you. And buckle up, get ready. We're going to make more videos. We're coming back. And this is the best time of the year. And life comes in cycles. Life is a symbiotic relationship of different things that go around and around, and we're all clinging onto this giant rock like lucky bacteria twirling through the void of space. And you got to find your purpose. And I think this is my purpose, or at least for the very, very long foreseeable future. So that's my announcement to you guys. I think I'm coming back to YouTube. This is what I need to do. And I had a lot of soul searching. I took a few days. I went outside on a full moon night and howled at it like a werewolf. Don't ask why. The cops did show up. I had to explain the situation. They were understanding. But anyway, I'm coming back to YouTube. Get ready for more movie reviews, more live shows, some other random shit along the way. And I also want to announce a few other quick updates. I'm going to test this this isn't a guarantee, and we are going to dive into the questions, and I thank you guys for the questions. It does mean the world to me. Because without you guys watching, I know it sounds cliche. I'm not pandering to you. I'm not going to placate you. You know I tell you the truth. It doesn't, even if it means I lose subscribers, I tell you the truth. Okay? But I do mean this. Thank you guys for sticking around. And I'll tell you what really gave me the motivation to make this switch, this change, was just your comments on the live shows or on YouTube. The last 3 months, I was sort of tiptoeing and maybe thinking about doing it. And then you realize there's an entire community of people who appreciate the shit you do and the things that you say, and they just want you to do more of it, rather than a group of other people who don't give a shit about you, who want to suck you dry and spit you out. That's right, folks. I used to work for spitters, not swallowers. But then again, I'm sure a few of them I'm sure a few of them really do enjoy swallowing. Whatever that is, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, we're back, baby. All right. So with all that said, and thank you. Look at these. You guys are too good to me. Look at all these. You got some YouTube members in here. Bakatir. I'm in need for some wisdom. Guide me, my dear Johnny. That's what I'm doing. Devin Fierce says, Bob, you're a legend, man. I don't know who, some Bob somewhere in there. Jetty Knight of the Tifa Cult. Thanks for the flames emojis. Thank you for that. And Bob and Casey has become a member. Dearest Bob. Oh, Bob has gifted 5 people memberships. So thanks. Thanks, Bob. Nice guy, man. Bob from Kansas City. Go Chiefs. So yeah, whoever got those memberships, enjoy that shit. And I will have, going forward, we're going to do a lot more stuff. I have some ideas. Give me time. These are little seeds that need to develop and grow. Little fetus ideas, or what I like to call them. And then one day I'm going to give birth to them. So it's getting weird. Why do we have to talk like this? Why can't I just be normal? I don't know. But I will start doing more member-only I'm going to do a members-only Q&A, and I'm going to give you guys some special vlog videos, some behind-the-scenes stuff. But for everybody else, you guys are going to get more stuff along the way, too. The one announcement I do want to make beyond the one where I'm changing life paths and going a different direction is I think on the Flickpick channel, I think I need to put a live show over there as well. Now, does that mean we're going to stop doing live shows here on the John Flickinger channel? Abso-fucking-lutely not. We're definitely going to always do the Q&As right here on this channel on a weekly basis. That is my promise to you. That is not changing. But on the Flickpick channel, I think it's finally time to implement something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and that's more of a structured live stream where I talk about some movie-related topics, some movie news along the way, things that don't quite justify making a dedicated video for. I think I'm going to start doing a live show on the Flickpick channel. It feels right. And then at the end of that live show, I will, of course, take Q&A questions about whatever and anything. So what I'm going to do next week, and I'm thinking next Monday, because I have a title for this live show. It's going to be on the Flickpick channel next Monday. Now, the first live show on the Flickpick channel will simply be a Q&A video. Because I need to warm up. I need to get the juices flowing over there because I have not done a live show on that channel in years. So I think it's going to be nice to start off with a Q&A video over there like we typically do here. But there's a lot of people on that channel that don't subscribe to this channel or even know I have a second channel. So I figured why not put this shit in both places. So next week on Monday night at 7 o'clock, we will have a live show over on the Flickpick channel. If you're not subscribed to that channel and you're subscribed to this channel, I don't know how that happened, but either way, make sure you go there next Monday at 7 o'clock for some Monday night movie talk. And there's going to be explosions and flames and some rock music. You guys know how this goes. You know my style. But nevertheless, we're going to do it. But thanks to all the YouTube members here and everyone else. We got McMahon Pro, Devin, we got Bakatir, we got Faisal Haiti, sweet dude. Who else do we got in here? We got some other people in here. All right, so let's dive into the questions. And you guys, I'm feeling a little emotional. A little tear wants to trickle down my cheek. But I'm a man. I'll suck it up. I'll suck it up. All right, the 50% Doctor Who podcast says, what is the rarest Blu-ray that you own or item? I couldn't tell you the physical movie that I own that is the rarest copy. At one point, I think Coneheads was pretty rare on DVD. I owned that. Drop Dead Fred was out of print at one point. But I would say the rarest item in the Flick Cave right now would be my Terminator 2 Judgment Day poster, which is signed by the entire cast, except for Arnold. I know, that's the hard one to get. But I got Linda Hamilton on there, Robert Patrick, Edward Furlong on that bad boy, and that's right over there. And I will do a movie room tour and a theater tour at some point in the next week or two. So yeah, all these videos that have been on the backlog for the last 2 years, just get ready. Prepare your eyeballs. Because I'm going to infiltrate those bad boys with so much fucking content, your head's going to spin around like Beetlejuice. Hey, come here! All right. And speaking of Beetlejuice, I did shoot my Beetlejuice review today. My Beetlejuice review today. I know it's a few days late, but it was a very, very stressful long weekend. But I do have it. I will pop that. I'm going to pop that bad boy out tomorrow. So anyway, that's coming. So look out for that over on the FlickPick channel. I know it's weird. I'm making movie reviews again. What is happening? What year is it? What is this? 2016? Ah, God. All right. Just it's been a long week. I do mean that, and thanks for joining me once again. All right, here it goes. Joe Nielsen says, I just recently rewatched Matt Reeves' The Batman. It is my favorite Batman movie. Do you think it holds up? Yeah, I like The Batman. I think there's 10 minutes in that movie I would chop out or completely change. One of the things in The Batman that feels like a rusty nail dragging across my brain is when Paul Dano starts singing in Arkham Asylum, Santa Maria. And after about 48 seconds of that, I think to myself, I skip over that scene. I just skip over it now. I can't take it. So to me, that means it's a bad scene and slightly annoying. And plus his little neck collar chain that goes around his neck, I don't quite comprehend the purpose of that, logistically speaking, because it's so big that you could just take it off your head. So I don't know why he has a shackle around his neck. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But I think it holds up. 96% of it still holds up. I quite enjoy it, man. I love the Batman. I love the first act of the Batman quite a bit. The opening narration. Give it to me. Darkness is an ally. It's good stuff. Okay, the next one comes from Cody Gill, who says, Hey, John, good to see you. What is the craziest or most surprising fact you have discovered while just Googling random shit? I Google a lot of random shit late at night, and I couldn't even tell you on the paths that I take, nor do I think I should. But I did discover something about myself the other day, and that is, I figured out that, hang on, sorry. Have you guys ever done a personality quiz or a test that tells you the personality type that you are? I discovered the other day that I am an INTP. And what does that stand for? It stands for an introverted, intuitive thinking and perceiving person. And I never knew what was quite wrong with me. But after discovering those acronyms that define who I am as a person and what I'm doing, it completely made sense. So I recommend everyone do that, because as soon as you know how your brain works and you can read about it on a Reddit forum at 3 o'clock in the morning, it will instantly be, once you can categorize who you are, it helps quite a bit. So anyway, does that relate to movies? Probably not. Did you know I'm utterly insane? You probably did. Did you know I like to dissect girls? I'm sure a few of you might be aware of that. So anyway, All right, let's go to the next one here. And the YouTube members are killing it. I'm trying to keep up as much as I can. Jetty Knight says, the Batman is good, but about 20 minutes too long. I would almost concur with that. Jetty Knight also says, compete with Campia. You know, in one regard, maybe it's the same kind of, on the surface, it's kind of the same niche. But I want to be completely and radically different than what he does, and I feel like I always have been. And for our next main topic, now, take this with a grain of salt. Now, did you know I'm from Canada? No, it'll be different. It won't be as structured as that because that's just my personality type. But it will be covering movie-related topics, and I think it'll be a bit more. How do I say it? Well, I won't have a co-host, that's for sure. Well, I might. Who knows? Maybe I'll have an occasional co-host. I like to say maybe slightly less pretentious. That's not. I don't like to throw that word around lightly, but it'll be a good time, I promise. McMahon Pro says we are back. LFG John, we're going, man. We're going right now. Where are we going? I don't know. But the next question comes from, actually, you know what I want to do? I want to take a moment here because there was some news that happened today that I wanted to talk about. And, James Earl Jones, the man, the myth, the legend, the voice that could just narrate my life and I would be just okay with that. He was fit to voice a king. And he was also fit to voice a intergalactic overlord known as Darth Vader. James Earl Jones has passed away, born January 1931, passed away September 2024. And I've always been a fan of James Earl Jones. There's not many actors in Hollywood working where you think to yourself, oh, that just seems like a nice dude. He's never harmed anyone. And I think that's James Earl Jones. You know, every time he showed up on screen, it just gave you this warm, tingly sensation in your heart. And for me, some of my favorite James Earl Jones movies, obviously the ones that he voiced, like Darth Vader in all the Star Wars movies, and the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King, and now watching that again as he talks about the stars up there, and then everything the light touches, just it's going to hit me in the feels a bit more now. But a few movies I've always enjoyed of his were The Sandlot, and Field of Dreams. He did a lot of baseball movies. And by a lot, I mean maybe two. But those were a few of my favorites. I wrote a note on here. I can't even read my handwriting anymore. Oh, yes. Oh, the one movie that I've always unintentionally laughed at the way he looked at. Okay, I mean this in the best way possible. Watch Conan the Barbarian and look at James Earl Jones in that movie. It just makes you smile. You have to smile when you see it. It's just the wig he's wearing, the whole get up. It's like, what are you making this man wear? But it's phenomenal. I love it. So yes, rest in peace, James Earl Jones. You will be missed. And I think I might just rewatch Star Wars very soon in remembrance. And also, speaking of James Earl Jones and Darth Vader, this is probably not a very good segue to talking about animatronics, but I will do it. I do have a 7-foot-tall animatronic Darth Vader that I am putting up in my theater room very soon, and I will make a video about that. So, anyway, what are some of your favorite James Earl Jones movies? What's your favorite performance? And let's go to the next question. Let's not get too somber in here. All right, the next one comes from. Here it is. Are you ready for it? Laundry says, now that you're back, when is the Power Tool collection video coming? Yeah, if you didn't know, I have a very extensive Ryobi Power Tool collection in my garage. Now, in here, I collect movies and Blu-rays. In my garage, I collect neon green power tools. Because why? I don't know why. I guess they depict who I am as a man. whenever you own a 14-inch chainsaw, you know you're prepared for any situation. And I stand by that. Anyways, so maybe one day. Would anyone watch that? I don't know. It's something I would watch, but... Okay, the next one comes from Cody Gill, who says, "Hey, John, good to see you. What is the... We already answered this. The next one comes from Devin Freese, who says, welcome back. Well, good to be back. I told you guys it was just a matter of time. I knew I had to go out and placate society for about a year and a half. And really what it was is I needed to prove to myself I could do something else beyond YouTube. And I did it. It was okay. It was fine. I had a lot of good days. Overall, I quite enjoyed the experience. But overall, it was soul draining and I think detrimental to mental health. And just there's certain people in life that no matter what you do, you shouldn't work for them. And I think this is one of those situations. So it's in the past, as Rafinki would say, and tying in with another Lion King thing, but it's in the past. So anyway, I just need a baboon to hit me on the head so I can move on with life. But don't we all? Okay. The next one comes from Roger something, who says, glad you're back, John. It doesn't matter what you make videos about, you are always entertaining. See, with comments like that, how could I ever not do this? Thank you for that. Thanks, Roger, and thanks for the super chat, man. You're too good to me. You're all too good to me, so thank you. Cody Gill says, John, we need a movie reaction videos and watch-alongs. I would like to start doing quick little videos after I watch certain movies at home. And it can be an old catalog movie. It can be a brand new movie. I just hate waiting to shit out a full-blown review video. I hate it. Because for me, I don't know how some other people on YouTube do it. They go see some movie at 10 o'clock on a Thursday night, and they're cranking out a video the next morning. And I think to myself, how did you enjoy that movie? Collect your thoughts, let it resonate, then take the time to make a good video, and then poop that out on YouTube. I can't do it. I've never been able to do such things. I would rather have a video be deemed late on arrival, but at least I said what I needed to say and it has some substance to it. But what I will start doing is I want to start doing immediate reactions after I watch old or new movies. And it might be some sloppy vlog video that's 2 minutes long or 30 seconds long or 5 minutes long. But I want to start making more videos like that. So I think that's the beauty about having two channels, is the FlickPick channel can have a bit more structure. And this channel, well, this is where that wacky crazy shit goes. So anyway, so between the two channels, I definitely think I'm going to start putting out way more videos. And this channel has always been the more personable channel, the vlogier style channel. So I do want to start doing more videos, just quick reactions after I watch movies. And it might be watching it at home in my theater room. I don't know. But lately, I have rewatched many of movies. Maybe it was Jaws, or it was a new horror film, or it was something I've seen a million times. And rewatching it, you have new thoughts and new feelings on it. And it's like, I need to share these, or else they get bottled up in my head and they dissipate and they just, I don't know, come out of my ass like flagellants. I'm just saying, like, if I can put these on camera, they'll live forever. Remember, heroes live and die, but legends live forever. Okay, the next one comes from Bob and Casey, who became a member 20 minutes ago. So Bob, thank you so much for that once again, and gifting some of the people in the FlickPick. I don't want to call you guys a community. That sounds too civil. I want to call you guys a cult. Might be too much. That makes me sound utterly insane. I don't know. I'll call you guys my my Flickster friends. I don't know. Flickster friends? Does that sound a little stupid? I don't. It feels good. I like it. But let's see if that grows on everyone. All right. The next one comes from Johannes Gerald, who says, I am glad you're coming back, John. I don't always agree with you, but your opinion is probably the one I trust the most among film critics and YouTubers. Most people seem very easily impressed by what I consider mediocrity. Well, Johannes, I think you and I can both agree on that. That has been my viewpoint for a very, very long time, but people look at me like I'm just taking crazy pills. And I feel like I'm screaming the truth and no one's hearing it. But thanks for that, man. And the other thing I want to talk about, Johannes, is my favorite type of viewer that I have, or one of my favorite types of comments. I don't need my viewers to agree with everything I'm saying. Please don't. But I hope that you at least sit back and listen and maybe take something from it. Because I don't necessarily want a lot of subscribers who say, John, I agree with everything you ever said in your entire life. That's great. Hey, I will take it. But I also like people who don't agree with everything I say, because that's what makes this shit fun. For me, I like watching a review that someone gives that might disagree or say something I didn't think of or even fathom. And if I like it or hate it, at least I'm hearing something I didn't think of. And to me, that is beneficial. Another viewpoint is always good. So, or agree with everything I fucking say, like the video, subscribe, thank you. I will take that as well. But no, thanks for the comment, man. Skylar Wheelock says, not including American Werewolf in London, what is your favorite werewolf movie? Well, I am looking forward to The Wolfman. Oh, and by the way, speaking of The Wolfman and werewolf movies, I'm going to make you guys always remind me of the shit I need to say. You also remind me that I should probably take notes before I do these, but then again, I'll save that for the more structured live shows coming very soon to the FlickPick channel. John, when is your birthday? It's April 19th, 1987. That's my birthday. Just remember this. You go 420 minus 1. That's the day of the FlickPick. But speaking of werewolves, and I will talk about that question in just 1 minute. I will be in Austin, Texas at Fantastic Fest September 19th to the 23rd. So if you guys live in the area or if you're going to Fantastic Fest, I will be there around the Alamo Draft House every day. Don't ask exactly when, where, how, or why, but I will be at that theater from the 19th to the 23rd in Austin, Texas at Fantastic Fest. So if you're going, make sure you say hi, scream my name. Yeah, scream my name. I would like to hear that echoing down a hallway. And then run up to me like a madman and give me a high five. And if you're feeling frisky, maybe a little bit more. Don't do that. Don't do that. No lawsuits. I can't afford it. I'm poor. Okay? Very poor. So I will be in Fantastic Fest. So if you guys are going, let me know in the comments. Is anyone going to Fantastic Fest? I'm looking forward to it. And just a quick heads up, quick announcement. I will be hanging out with 3C, Chris Parker from 3C Films. Great YouTube channel, good buddy of mine. Really nice guy. The first time I met him was like a year and a half ago. Wasn't expecting much. I was like, okay, who's this little douchebag going to be? And then I got to know the guy, and I was like, oh, wow, we have a lot in common. So anyway, Chris is a great guy. So we'll be hanging out. We'll probably shoot some videos together. So I will be covering Fantastic Fest. I will probably cover at least, I don't know, half the movies I see, depending on how good they are. But I'm hoping for some really good special screeners of movies. So if anyone has some insight, maybe share that shit. Let me know. Let me know what's going on. But I can't wait. And it's really, everything that's happening has almost come at a perfect time. It's almost a concoction of awesomeness. So I'm looking forward to it. I left one career, I came back to another, and then a week after that, I'm going off on a vacation to see movies for a week. So it feels right. It almost feels like it was meant to be. And I would almost call this the critical moment. And furthermore, do you know I've been making YouTube videos for, I think, 14 years going on in October. It'll be 14 years of making YouTube videos. 14 years. That's probably older than some of you watching right now. In a weird way, I like to think you were conceived while your parents watched me. But the odds of that are probably very low. But who knows? Okay, let's go to the next question. Oh yeah, speaking of werewolves, I quite enjoy Hugh Jackman as a werewolf with shitty CGI in the movie Van Helsing. If you've never seen it, I think the time is approaching because Van Helsing is a great October movie. And by great, I mean it's absolutely terrible. By definition, it's the biggest bloated pile of Hollywood shit ever dumped out into cinemas, but I quite enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure. But what I want from you, and if you've never seen it, just hear me out for 1 second, and we're going to get into the questions. We're only 17 minutes behind. This October Halloween season, on a rainy night, when you have nothing better to do, but you want to let loose, maybe take some hallucinogens, that's up to you, okay? That's up to you. Pop in Van Helsing, or just stream it if you don't own a physical copy. If you've never seen it, please do it for me, and go in with an open mind. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. That or you will just laugh your ass off. But for nothing else, you will see Hugh Jackman as a PS2 video game graphic werewolf fighting Count Dracula, who also looks like a gargoyle from Killer Instinct, the video game on N64. So watch Van Helsing this October. That's my biggest recommendation to you guys tonight. That, and don't get stuck in a job that you absolutely hate, and life is too short for misery. But the next question comes from Night King 01. John, I watched Point Break again. Man, that movie gets better the more I watch, except for Keanu Reeves' acting. I love him, but he can't act. The thing about Keanu and his acting ability is no one else can replicate it, and no one else can duplicate it. And the thing about certain acting abilities from certain actors, like Keanu Reeves, the reason he gets away with that, and the reason we buy into it, first of all, it's slightly bizarre, and we can't stop watching it. I like to think that's why you're here right now. You're like, that guy's fucking weird, but there's something about it I can't look away. It's like a fiery car crash, but I can't look away. But the thing about him is he does it in such a way with confidence and charisma, and that's how he sold himself in Hollywood. You don't have to be the best actor to make it. No. You have to become a star. And how do you become a star? With a personality and charisma. That's what makes a star. Great acting ability can only help a movie. But star power, it doesn't matter what that is. It's gonna do well, or at least it used to in the 1980s and 1990s. Now box office is chaotic at best, and it doesn't matter if you're an A-list actor. Your movie's gonna be on Apple TV, and no one's gonna watch it, and it costs $400 million to make. But beyond the point of that, the charisma, man, he oozes charisma. But Point Break, oh god, top 5 favorite movies of all time. I think I need to do a series about movies I love and do like dedicated reviews on each movie that have impacted my life. I think that would be a good series. And Point Break would definitely be in there. Okay, the next one comes from Patrick Quayle, who says, you should grow a mustache like the guy in Strange Darling, maybe for Halloween. I can grow a shitty mustache, and then some like scraggly 5 o'clock, 3:30, 3:30 shadow going on. But my mustache, I don't know, man. I don't think I could eat with a mustache above my lip the way it grows, all dangly like this. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if I can pull that shit off. But I do want to see Strange Darling, by the way. It's playing in one theater 2 hours away, and that hurts me inside. It really does. I wish... Does anyone know if Strange Darling is getting a wide release anytime soon, or if it's going to be on like streaming? Because I do want to see that movie. Maybe when I go to Austin, Texas, I'm sure it's playing in theaters there. So maybe I'll check it out in some downtime. But then again, I'll be seeing movies every day, so I don't know if I'm going to have any downtime. So we will see. Jedi Knight says, Keanu is great in Cyberpunk 2077. Everybody check out that game. It's a masterpiece. Except, didn't it take a really long time to develop, and it was slightly underwhelming for the amount of time they put into it? Like, I've never played it, but... Okay, the next one comes from Blunt's #1 fan, who says... John, I recently watched VHS 2 and the segment Save Heaven is phenomenal. Have you seen those movies? I have seen those movies. I have a review for VHS 2 on the Flick Pick channel. I only remember a few of the stories in it. I remember, wasn't there an alien invasion? I don't remember what else happened in that. But I did watch it. I vaguely remember it. But we have VHS 3 is coming out soon. Isn't it playing at Fantastic Fest? So I'll see the new one. Or is it 3 or 4? I couldn't even tell you which VHS we're on right now. Upshot Music TV says, started watching the Terminator anime. Holy shit, it's everything the latest movies are not. Perfect blend of everything great about the franchise. Yeah, we were talking about the Terminator anime on the last live show. I've been meaning to watch it. I will definitely give at least the first... episode a watch at some point. So that's good to hear, man. Roberto Jordan says, John, I first started watching you in middle school. I am now 2 years out of college and working in corporate America. Some could say you're like a father to me. Also, any advice for hard breakups? Boy, I've been through a few of them. Cycle, rinse, and repeat. The trick is you use it as fuel for the fire that burns inside. The best thing I can tell you is, and I don't mean this as a joke, I mean this from the pits of my heart, you need to listen to 1980s rock ballads, find a hobby, go work out, keep swiping, find your happy place, and work on you. I think that's the best thing you can do. And every time I did that, it was always darkest just before the dawn, but eventually the dawn did come. And you look back and you think to yourself, oh shit, thank God that's no longer a thing. It's like, you feel like Matrix, or you feel, speaking of Keanu, you feel like Neo from the Matrix, just bending over backwards as bullets fly over your head. And you're like, that's exactly what you just missed out on. So take comfort. It will get better. The next one comes from Avocado Balls Johnson. That's a great name. Would you ever do content reacting to your old videos? Your Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows Blu-ray opens up with one of your most bizarre skits. Yeah, I would like to react to some of my older videos because there's some pretty cringe-inducing shit I have watched. But also, on a positive note, I will pat myself on the back. I was going to say something else there. I look back at some older videos and I did shit that was so outrageous that I would probably never do it again. But man, I'm glad I did it. There's some gold in some older videos. You go back and watch some old Flick Trip videos? Holy shit. I've almost had the urge to take all of those random like Flick Trip videos and either cut them into like clips or segments and just post them on TikTok just to see what happens. I don't care if anyone watches them. I just need them out there in the universe for unsuspecting people to come across. Because there's some weird shit in some of those videos. And when you take it out of context, it's even better and more weird. So Yeah, I would like to do an occasional react to my old videos. You know, here's a great segment. Here's a segment for you guys. What if on each live show, I pick an old video and we just do a quick, I don't know, 5-minute reaction to it or something. I don't, like, could be fun. Let me know if you're down with that. Let me, and if you, and maybe what I'll do for YouTube members is I'll let you vote on which video you guys want. Whatever one it is. Now, don't pick a 49-minute Blu-ray collection update video because I don't want to relive those. But, you know, a 5-6 minute video? Absolutely. So, the White Skull says, "Hi, John. Sorry I'm late." Oh, you're never going to be late. Not here. You're always welcomed, though. But the great thing about the live shows are you can always go back and watch the replay. And a lot of you do that, so I do appreciate that. And it's a weird phenomenon. Let me tell you guys something about my live shows. By the way, I'll tell all 312 of you watching right now. And thanks to all of you watching right now. If I put all of you in this room right now, think about it would be like a human sardine can. All moist and warm. I would love it. Anyway, the thing I want to tell you is each week, like clockwork, no matter how shitty of a live show I put out, 10,000 people always watch it, at least. That's crazy to me. This is like a 2-hour diatribe of some weird dude just screaming at a camera. So I think, thanks to everyone who watches or listens to this. And with all that said, I also will bring back the audio version of this. So if you want the podcast version, well, you're going to get that too. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but there's just certain things I wouldn't mind listening to. You don't necessarily have to look at my stupid face. You don't have to look at me. No. But you do need to listen to me. Okay? That's the promise we made to each other when we started this. So if you're mowing the grass or driving your car, there's going to be a podcast version of the live shows as well. And that will be on Spotify or wherever the hell else podcasts go. But really, Spotify is the only place I care about. So why wouldn't you too? So anyway, I'll pop these bad boys back on Spotify starting in the next 2 weeks. I'm trying to get organized and structured. And it's like going from 0 to 250 miles per hour. So I'm playing catch up right now. Carly says, OnlyFans in your future? I did think about that. I did. I considered it for at least 2 days. I even bought some extra baby oil. I was going to really get into it. I was thinking, what do these people want to see? You know, what do you want me to do? Tell me what you need. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Let's try YouTube first. And when things get really sad and desperate, maybe I can take elegant, classy pictures of myself holding up my movie collection. I'll do a Blu-ray movie collection, but minus the graphic tee. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Or am I? I don't know. Okay. Actually, I'll just make that a members only video. Just me covered in baby oil talking about my Blu-rays. 3 people will watch it, but the 3 people who watch it will really need that. So that's fine by me. Do you have and watch movies on an OLED TV? I do. I do have an OLED TV. It's an LG 83-inch OLED TV. That's my main TV, and I have my older OLED TV, which is like a 65-inch I bought in 2017 when OLEDs were sort of new and rather expensive. But yeah, OLED for me is like, if you can afford it, that is the way to go. I will never steer you another direction. If you want the best picture quality and you're a cinephile and you like those inky, deep, rich blacks with the contrast ratio that just gives you everything you want and your eyeballs need and desire, absolutely get an OLED. But you know, I have seen some nice looking LED TVs. Okay. Now, but the thing here is, if you're on a budget and you want a good TV, there's some newer LED, OLED, or QLED TVs that look pretty good. But OLED is, for me, that is the way to go. So yes, I do watch movies on an OLED. I also watch movies on a projector that I have in my bedroom. That's like probably like, I don't know, 160 inches by the time it hits the wall. So I have a 4K projector in my bedroom. It's not like a theater setup by any means, but that's, you know, laying in bed watching a huge screen is just so relaxing and immersive. I love it. I don't think I could ever change it. I could never go back. Okay, the next one comes from... It's coming from somebody. You know who it's coming from? It's coming from this blue Gatorade Zero right here. By the way, what is the flavor of this? Actually, you know what the flavor of this is? Gatorade smartened up. Their marketing team's really on it because it's called Cool Blue. They knew not to call this Raspberry or Arctic Rush or, you know, Mr. Freeze's Piss. They called it Cool Blue because I don't know about you, but whenever I see a blue drink, it has no flavor. The flavor is blue. All right, the next one comes from Joey Cockjammin. Well, that's great name. That was my second choice for a YouTube channel. When was the last time you got some slop top? Oh, every weekend, man. You put on some Journey in the background. Joey Cockjam also back again says, who is the most and least cringe? Alex Leba, Cool Duder, Wet Movie. The least, Cool Duder seems like a nice guy. I've never met him. I would like to at some point. That was one of the first YouTube channels I ever subscribed to. And Alex, who has been a viewer of mine for a long time and had a channel, nice kid. Alex is a really nice kid. What movie? I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. So, but they've all done some really bizarre shit on YouTube, have they not? But I've quite enjoyed all of their content. I don't keep up on a lot of it as much as I used to, but it's awesome that some of the original channels I ever subscribed to on YouTube are still making videos. I love it. Skylar Wheelock says, if you were to debut as a wrestler, what would be your wrestling entrance theme and finisher? I would probably make my finisher the Flick You. And what would that be? I don't know. My entrance music might be, I don't know, some 80s rock ballad. I don't know. Something, it would definitely be like a hardcore 80s rock ballad. Which one specifically? I'm not sure. I don't think I could just pick just one. Take the entire score from Over the Top, and that would be my entrance theme. I would be just happy with that. I think I'd be a mix of John Cena mixed with The Miz meets I don't know, Gold Dust. I'd be a little androgynous, if you know what I mean. JBP91 says, hey man, just started the gym again, focusing on machine weights, working most of my body every session, any device, glad you're back, snoochie boochies. Well, that's good for you, man. Keep pumping. Don't stop. I would say don't work your entire body every session. You know, you want to focus on portions and segments of it and break it up throughout the week. That way you're not overdoing it. That way you have time to grow and rest. But I would say, you know, if you're brand new to the gym, my best advice I can give you is just go find all the machines that do arms and shoulders one day. Do them. Try them all out. Keep trying them. Figure out what works best for you and then develop a routine based on that. And then the next day, find every machine that works your back. Go in there. Do them all. See which one works the best for you. Keep switching it up. And that will keep it fun. And then you'll find a routine that truly works for you. And I feel like that's what I did for the first time I went to the gym and really tried. The first week I was there, I just went up and down the row of every single machine in the entire gym and did everything. Because I just wanted to truly understand what everything did and how it worked. And then eventually I just came up with some mental plan in my head and kept going. And then I kept going. And then I kept going. And I kept eating protein. And then I ate 6 meals a day. And then 450 grams of protein and 900 milligrams of caffeine. And eventually my traps touched my ear. And I started talking like this every video. But nevertheless, 2014 to 2016 John still exists on YouTube and in our hearts. But I don't think I could physically do that again because my eyes would explode out of their sockets. All right. You're missing Raw, John. I know this is when I watch my Monday Night Raw, but I am going to savor the flavor. I do record it, and the best thing about starting it an hour late is that I can just fast forward through all the commercials. So much better. But I'm really looking forward to when WWE goes to Netflix. All right, the next one comes from Jetty says, Goldust really creeped me out as a kid. I loved me some Goldust. You'll never forget the name of Goldust. Oh, so great. So great. Okay. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Goldust WWF sometime. The next one comes from James Doshier, who says, hey, John, how's your Monday today? My Monday today is okay. You know, I shot a review, did some other stuff, did a lot of logistical adult stuff today, and I figured I'd cap off the evening with a live show hanging out with you guys. Because this is by far the easiest, most enjoyable thing I do on YouTube, is just talk with you guys. I mean that. All right, the next one comes from... And how's everybody else's Monday doing? It's not all about me. I don't need to be a narcissist. Even though I refer to myself as the Flick Pick in third person. But nevertheless, how is your Monday going? How is life going for you guys? And by the way, down in the comments section, why don't you guys type in where you guys are watching from? I want the city and the state. And if you're feeling extra frisky, you can tell me what you're wearing. But that's completely up to you. Okay, the next one comes from Cody Gill, who says, I don't know why, John, but you remind me of Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know what's funny? Someone else, my friend who watches that show religiously, told me the same thing. He told me the exact same thing. And I've never watched. I probably have seen 2 episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so that could be accurate. Levi Fisher says, I have Claudio Rogajon and Night King 1 in my basement. I'll let them go if you give us a front double bicep. Don't get scared now. Listen. My biceps aren't what they used to be, okay? Listen, it's been a while. I haven't really been hitting the gym, but just for the sake of the video. Oh, there we go. I think it's still there. Is that what you wanted? That's what you're gonna get. I was gonna save that for my OF, but just for you guys, that's a freebie. All right. Let's just go to the next question. It's gotten so weird. Avocado Balls Johnson says, I know from experience that bikers are not avid bathers. Can you imagine the foul stench of BO, butthole, and cigars emanating from the T800 and T2? Oh, absolutely. Listen, okay, let's just step back for a second here and dissect that question. If you have not seen Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which came out in 1991, probably, arguably, my favorite action movie of all time, but in that film, when Arnold comes back from the future, butt naked at a truck stop, he beats up a biker, and kind of a gross guy, and he's like a little rough around the edges. You know he didn't wash his hands often. He takes his clothes and puts them on, and you just know he didn't grab the underwear, and that's okay. I wouldn't either. But those leather pants that the T800 took, I can only imagine. You're right. The foul stench within those would resonate for a lifetime. And as a logical organism such as the T800, where he can read and decipher everything going around in his peripheral vision, and it calculates everything, you think the calculations from the germs alone living inside of those leather pants, his robot brain would calculate, you probably shouldn't put these on because it will rot away at your organic flesh covering your cybernetic skeleton body. Just call me crazy, right? How hard is it to like break into a Kmart and take some joggers? I don't know. But I guess we needed a violent altercation on how Arnold got his wardrobe. And I'm completely okay with it. But yes, I would rather just walk around butt-ass naked saving John Connor. I'm not a pervert. I want to protect you. And he's riding away on his dirt bike. That's how it would go if I went back in time to save somebody. I'll put it like that. All right, let's go to the next question. And thank you for thank you for that. That's what you guys come here for. Those are the thoughts I give you. Okay? That's all I have to give you. That's it. That's as good as it gets. But Levi Fisher has become a member. Iconic84 has become a member. Thank you guys for becoming members. And I'm going to start doing more member stuff very soon. Just videos for you guys. Lazy little vlog videos. Some Q&As. Some other stuff. I'll let you guys vote on what you guys want to see. But most importantly, thank you for becoming a member. That's... GF Hostman says, did I miss anything? Well, scroll that shit back and watch. You missed a few things, I would say. Some updates. John, did you see Beetlejuice 2? I did see Beetlejuice 2. I shot a review actually just like 3 hours ago. That's why I'm wearing my Zombies Ate My Neighbors t-shirt. It just felt right. I had the room all green and purple. I did shoot a review. And I'm going to edit it. I was in the process of doing it before I started the live show. And I will put it out tomorrow on the Flickpage channel. So make sure you watch it, look out for it. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do with it. Make my millennium. Nope, won't do it. 2 a day. Nope, not going to do it. All right. The next one comes from Roberto Jordan, who says, this comeback reminds me of Christian Bale in The Dark Knight Rises. My favorite scene in that film is when he crawls out of that well and the music swells up. Holy shit. I could lift a car listening to that song. And you're right. I guess internally, if I want to romanticize it, it does feel that way. So thank you. And it kind of does metaphorically fit. I do feel like I'm crawling out of this prison sewer well. Slightly. It does feel that way. And you see the sunlight. And then you have to come back to Gotham City and save it. And by Gotham City, I mean YouTube. All right. The next one comes from... someone said the pink sunglasses from T3 were dope. Absolutely. I don't know what it is with Arnold as a robot, but what is it with him going in bars and stealing other men's leather pants? There's definitely something to be said about that. And I'm not judging. Absolutely not, okay? I would probably just break into a Dick's Sporting Goods and take some, athletic leisure wear. But Arnold, he needs his leather chaps, all right? So anyway, yeah, interesting programming they had going on with that cyborg. All right. The next one comes from Devin Freese. I'm going to get it right one of these days, Devin. Last movie you watched on 4K. Jeez, did we? I feel like we just... Oh, Beetlejuice. We watched Beetlejuice on 4K before we watched the new Beetlejuice. Did I watch anything? Let me see if I watched. No. Okay. Yeah, that was the last one, I think, technically speaking. So yeah, Beetlejuice on 4K. Looks good. I love it. It kept enough film grain in there. It looked looked great. I miss 1980s movies. And by the way, on a side note, I did not mention this in my Beetlejuice review. And I will save my in-depth thoughts for Beetlejuice in that review. It was okay. But the thing is, the movie did utilize some practical effects, and that was great. But when you film things with like a brand new 8K super digital sharp lens compared to the 1980s film stock version of Beetlejuice, which is a little bit softer and, not everything's purposely dialed, like perfectly dialed in with focus. I think like the new Beetlejuice movie needed someone to like smear some oil on the lens of the camera. Just soften it up a little bit. It needed that warmth and that glow. I feel like it was slightly missing. Maybe that's just a weird thing for me, but I feel like if you're making a movie like that, it shouldn't look as sharp as it does. I want it to look, I want it to be a little glowy, just a little like some fog in the background and like a smeary, I like the softer looking film stock for movies such as Beetlejuice. It just feels like that would have been right. So maybe what I'll do is when I play the movie at home on 4K, I'll just go to like the sharpness settings and dial them all the way back, and maybe I don't know, do something to soften the image up. And then it'll look perfect. Someone said like Siskel and Ebert. Yeah, they didn't like the original Beetlejuice movie. They actually thought it was really bad. They thought it was trying to be they thought the Beetlejuice was trying to be like the new Ghostbusters. Which in a sense I get the connection, but at the same time it completely missing the point. All right, the next one comes from, I need to start going a little bit faster here. Skylar Wheelock says, put yourself in Edward Scissorhands' shoes. Well, first of all, how the fuck would I put those shoes on if I was Edward Scissorhands? Anyway, would you enjoy all the landscaping he did in that movie at your current age? Skylar, that's a great question because I do the older I get, the closer I get to my midlife crisis, I do a lot of landscaping. My favorite thing to do in life, I don't have a Ferrari. I don't have a Lamborghini. No, but what I do have is a riding lawnmower that goes 4.5 miles per hour. And I enjoy riding that shit in the backyard. I love it. I live for it. I wait till sunset to mow the lawn because I feel like I'm Tom Cruise in Top Gun. No, but what was the question again? Oh, yeah. So, yes, we do have a couple shrub trees in the front of our house. And they swirl around like this. And they look very, very Edward Scissorhands like. So, yeah. All right. We got a big question here from Shivim. How's it going, Shivim? And thanks for the super chat. Here it goes. Longtime fan, sending some love with a little heart emoji. And that makes me feel good inside. One question. Best looking 4K discs to buy off the top of your head. Phenomenal question, and I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with one of them. If you want a very filmic yet gritty movie, I love me some Taxi Driver. If you want something that looks vivid and digital, though it was actually technically shot with 2K cameras, I think Mad Max Fury Road. If I was going to sell you an OLED TV, I would probably pop that movie on to do it. So those are a few off the top of my head. I have a million 4Ks back there. A lot of them I think look great. A lot of them don't look as good as I would like Terminator 2 Judgment Day or Forrest Gump or a few other movies. I think Jaws, as far as a classic film goes, looks pretty good on 4K. The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises, actually, specifically The Dark Knight Rises, looks pretty damn good on 4K, especially the IMAX sequences look phenomenal. Love it. So those are a few off the top of my head. Okay, the next one comes from... sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's calm down. Gabe K says, John, just give us an existential thought to chew on. I believe theism is the best explanation for existence, consciousness, how everything came into being, etc. Have you ever seen David Lowery's A Ghost Story? Yes, I have. You want a theoretical existential thought? Well, there's a few. I don't want to sound like Neil deGrasse Tyson or anything. Did you know water's wet? No, a few. I really, what I do quite often when I see everyone inching down the freeway or rushing to a place that they have to be or following every rule, I think to myself, we are just lucky bacteria clinging to a giant yet beautiful rock, hurling through space. We don't know where we come from. We don't know where we're going. And life is very short. In all of this chaos and all of this anarchy, there's still beauty to be had. And it's the little things in life that you should focus on. Because long term, Nothing really matters. But it's the now that does. So when things are going a little crazy and haywire in life, focus on all of that. And just know the fact that you exist is a 1 in a trillion. Because I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I think that's sufficient, right? And or you know, the crazier dot to this is, or maybe you're laying in a giant bathtub of goo on a spaceship 1 billion light years away from home right now. You might just be a little jellyfish floating around. You don't actually have a humanized body. This isn't what you look like. This isn't what you do. You're a little jellyfish in a tube of goo on a spacecraft floating through space right now, and this is just your imagination. This is a few wires hooked up to your jellyfish brain, and this is the matrix that they put you in to make life happy and better for yourself. Think about it like that. Sometimes I think that. And then I have an instant panic attack, and I have to pull over and breathe. But then I go on with my day. So it's all about putting things into perspective, isn't it? Do you want to be a little jellyfish? That's fine. Or you just want to feel like you're a lucky piece of bacteria on planet Earth? Also fine. But either way, it's somewhere in the middle that's the truth. And that is the scariest part of it all. So that's my thoughts. Okay. The next one comes from oh my God. Roberto Jordan says, I look up to your authenticity and not being fake. Is that a turd emoji or a brown banana? Because it looks like it's a slightly rotten banana, but why would they have an emoji like that? But anyway, I'll take either. I try to be authentic as I possibly can. And I think on YouTube, that's being appreciated a little bit more than it used to be. You used to, the worst thing you can do on YouTube is baby your audience and placate to them and pander to them. I think that is the most detrimental thing you can do. I really do. I think YouTube is all about the kind of being you. And when you take that out to a certain degree, it's just like, what are we doing here? Go watch some Netflix movie if you don't want the substance. Okay? But yeah, thanks for that, man. Dead Man Walking says, you heard that James Earl Jones sold the rights to his voice, and in the next Star Wars movie, if Darth Vader appears, you will probably hear his voice. Well, hey, I think that's absolutely fine. I really do. I think if he wanted to sell his rights to the voice and have certain characters and his legacy live on, and his family gets tons of cash from Disney for such a thing, I think that's beneficial for everybody. Don't you? I stand by that. Especially if he allowed it to happen. So I think that's great. I am altering the deal. Okay, the next one, the next one comes from Skytrin FG, who says, I'm so excited for you to come back. I hope you make more movie night videos because those are some of my favorite videos, especially on rainy days. Well, man, thanks for that. And those are a couple of my favorite videos too. You know, for me, movies aren't just like having a YouTube channel isn't about reviewing the movie. It's like, who gives a shit about that? Okay. No. Think of my channels, and I would like you guys, don't think of me as a movie reviewer, though technically on paperwork, that's what I am, right? A B-rate YouTube critic, and that's fine. I can live with that title. But what I really am is this is a movie lifestyle channel. That's what this is. And I think the experience, the immersion factor and the coziness of movie nights, just sitting on the couch, having some popcorn, watching the movie, and the beauty about these, and maybe this is why you watch them, or maybe you subconsciously, maybe this is why some people watch them, and this is what I like to think. I think subconsciously, movie night videos, they kind of make it feel like we're watching the movie together, right? It's like an experience that takes place in my living room, and you're there too. And you might be 2,000 miles away. But in movie night videos, you're right beside me. You're sharing the popcorn or the Sour Patch Kids. but don't take too many because I will slap your hand. Okay. But yeah, that's movie night videos. I definitely will do more of. I think at least like one a month should be the goal, like a movie night video once a month. And I think a great idea for such a thing would be you definitely want to time it so it's slightly topical. So if there's like a new movie coming out that maybe relates to an older movie or a prequel movie or whatever, maybe I can do a movie night video that way. So if you get, for example, let's just say the new Avatar movie comes out next year. Maybe that's a bad example, but maybe I can go back and rewatch the first one and make a movie night video about it and share some new thoughts on the movie. I think I could dig on that. Or maybe I'll just pop in the newest 4K movie I buy and have a movie night that way. That could also be enjoyable. I'm looking at you, Mad Max Furiosa. The next one comes from Avocado Balls once again. What do you think of Arnold's 1986 Opus Raw Deal? I don't think I've seen Raw Deal 86 Arnold. I can't even I don't think I've seen Raw Deal. I really don't. Now, but I have to look it up. Let's see. 1986 Raw Deal. Oh, don't go to Google. Don't look at the pictures on Google when you type in Raw Deal. All right, no, here it is. All right. I don't think I've sat down and ever watched Raw Deal. It looks like the most generic, shitty action movie ever made, but at the same time, that's why I want to watch it. I don't think I've ever watched Raw Deal. That's a weird thing for me. Huh. I don't think I've seen it. Raw Deal is underrated? Okay, maybe I'll check into it, man. Kyle Denton here with a big question. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Hey, John, big fan. I'm from North Carolina, and I did a road trip last week to see the Field of Dreams baseball field in Iowa. On the way, I stopped in Fort Wayne to check out Mega Replay. Needless to say, it was both magical and mystical. Well, Kyle, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I was just in Mega Replay, and if you don't know, I will explain, okay? Backstory is everything. But no, Mega Replay is a local physical media store here in my town where I live. I've made many Flick Trip videos there. You probably have seen it in the past. So that's awesome, man. And how was the baseball field for Field of Dreams? I've still been meaning to go to the Mansfield Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. It's like 2 hours away. And that's where they shot the Shawshank Redemption. Never been there. And I'm kind of mad at myself. Well, that's a lie. I have been there. I went to a Halloween tour there. But I didn't take the actual tour where you see some of the filming locations. But I would like to go there. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed the movie location. There's a few I'd like to check out too. But one day. Next time I'm in Chicago, I'm definitely going to check out the Home Alone house. And if I was a rich man, I would buy the Home Alone house. But did you know it actually has a basketball court in the basement now? Like a ginormous basketball court is in the basement of the actual Home Alone house. It's bizarre. But the only thing I think to myself is, well, if they made a sequel, wouldn't that be perfect? Like, I don't know. So Google that sometime when you get bored. All right, the next one comes from Skylar Wheelock, who says, who's a non-Marvel character that you know is worthy of Thor's hammer? Imagine Forrest Gump. The crazy part is he'd save the world and just be like, well, thank you for thinking of me. Golly, gee, yeah. I think I'll just go home now. Okay, so a movie character who is worthy of Thor's hammer. God, Forrest Gump was a good one. I think you topped me there. Okay. I'm trying to think of an actual... I can only think of villains in my head. I never think of... Maybe, that's not good either. I'm trying to think. Oh, maybe, that's not good either. I'm really picking and scratching my brain right now. That's a great question for you guys. Who would be worthy of Thor's hammer who's a non-Marvel character? Someone said Marty McFly. But would he be? I don't know. Marty was kind of a stubborn little asshole at times when you really think about the character. That's a great question. Who is a truly honorable person in a movie? Gilbert Grape? No. He climbed the water tower one too many times. John Coffey? Fair enough. You know, something about Michael Clark Duncan holding the hammer might just look right. So we'll go, yeah, Yoda? No, come. See, I was going to say like RoboCop, but do you want to see RoboCop holding Thor's hammer? Maybe that's a lucid dream you had once. Superman, but yeah, that's too obvious. Superman's too obvious. He could already hold the hammer. So, I don't know. Great question. Private Ryan? Dalton from Roadhouse. Sold. Done. All right, the next one comes from Thought You'd Be a Lot Bigger, who says, Skytrain FG, who says, I'm excited for you to come back. Oh, we already answered that. Sorry. The next one comes from James Juan Dowd, who says, a face-off sequel is happening. Your thoughts? Oh, give it to me now. Give it to me now. Ooh, I'm good looking. I love it. He took my face off. I could eat a peach for hours. Yes. But you know, the thing is, with the new face-off reboot, it's just going to feel like a generic action movie. It really is. It's going to feel like Extraction from Netflix. You got to get charismatic actors in these types of movies. Who's even starring in it? Like 2 generic guys? Who's going to star in the Face-Off sequel? Or did you say sequel? Like, is it actually Nick Cage and John Travolta coming back? Or is it a reboot? Chad Hagen says, speaking of Keanu, have you seen Hardball? I have. Little Baby G? Oh, man, that's sad. Johannes Gerald says, besides James Earl Jones, which actors give you instant feelings of nostalgia and warmth when you see them on the screen? That's a great question. There's so many actors, whenever I see them on the big screen, you just instantly feel at home again. And a few of those for me have always been some of the classic 80s stars, like Arnold in a movie, or Patrick Swayze. When I was growing up, Patrick Swayze was the man in our house, okay? Those are a few to name. I'm trying to think of another actor. I mean, I liked Tom Hanks in movies. You know, he was always kind of like... But who else would there be? I like, you know what it is, and he's not making movies obviously anymore, but like watching old Chris Farley movies kind of just is so simple and fun. Or John Candy. You want an actor that just warms your heart and takes you to a happy place? Watch a John Candy movie. Someone said Bruce Willis, Arnold, yeah, Russell Crowe. All right, the next one comes from Silvio 10708, who says, love this channel. Well, this channel loves you too, Silvio. Don't you go anywhere. Roger Something says, been watching you since 2012. You were one of the people that got me to view movies more seriously and getting me to watch stuff I never would have. Well, thanks for that, man. I'm sure the only shit I've gotten you to watch were probably like 1980s and 1990s action movies and a few dark comedies. I doubt I had you watch the French independent film that came out in 1997, shot in black and white. But nevertheless, thank you for the comment, man. That means something. It really does. Jay Flick says, are you going to see Speak No Evil? Oh, probably. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing the movie Heretic with Hugh Grant. I really want to see that movie. That looks like my type of movie. Thomas Matthews says, rank these films: Predator, Alien, and The Thing. For me, I know this is like bias, but I think The Predator is my favorite and most rewatchable. Alien, I love the cinematography. I think that revolutionized a whole genre. And for me, I think I put The Thing in third place. I know, it's blasphemy. I know. Please punish me for my sins against humanity. But I love The Thing. But the thing about The Thing is it was one of those John Carpenter movies I watched really late in life. And personally speaking, I still like enjoy movies like Escape from New York much more than The Thing. You know, for me, when you mention Alien and The Thing, maybe this is blasphemy to say, but I feel like because I had already seen Alien and there's some similarities to The Thing there, that I felt like I had already experienced this to some degree. But taking nothing away from The Thing, phenomenal movie. I mean, it's a classic by every regard. The practical effects, beautiful. But man, that if you made me do it, that's the order I'd put them in. Skylar Wheelock says, which TV show had you hooked after one episode, and which actor always makes the movies they're in better? I mean, Nicolas Cage by far makes every movie he's in better. I mean, listen, he's in some bad movies. Some bad movies where nothing could fix such a thing, but the only thing that you can cling on to is Nicolas Cage in that film. Now, for the first part of the question, I would say in recent years, Stranger Things, the first episode, I was instantly hooked, sold, needed more of it, wanted it, needed it. Please, thank you. Another series where the first episode hooked me. I thought Breaking Bad had a pretty good first episode. I mean, Walter White's running around in his underwear. That's a good ending. So I would say those are a few series that hooked me up after the first episode. And if you want like a limited series, I just rewatched it, and my fiance had never seen it. We watched Chernobyl, which is, I think, arguably probably one of the best limited series ever made. I love that. I wish they would make more types of series like that based on natural disasters or events that have happened. I think that would be really awesome to watch. But it has to be to that same caliber and level. The next one comes from Claudia Rogajan, who says, would you be friends with War Child from Point Break? You know what? Probably not. He seemed a little too coked out of his mind. And it was what's his name from the Red Hot Chili Peppers who played the character? Back off, War Child. Seriously. The White Skull says, John, sorry I have to go. Well, sorry to see you, man. But thanks for hanging out. Someone said Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I think Clint Eastwood should hold up Thor's hammer. There you go. Whatever movie he's in, he can hold that hammer up. Preferably just like a cowboy. All right, the next one comes from my Sweetie Pie, who says, hi, John. Nice to hear that you're coming back to YouTube. Well, nice to come back to YouTube. I finally saw the Netflix trailer for Vince McMahon. Growing up, me as a super curious young me is like my childhood. How are you feeling? Oh, yeah. So, sorry. Did I read that all weird and dyslexic like? So, Vince McMahon, who runs WWE, if you've been paying attention, has done some very shoddy shit, maybe figuratively and literally, over the last couple of years. And it's coming out into the spotlight now. But nothing... All of his scandals do not shock me. I just assumed this was what's happening because the version of Vince McMahon you got on TV, well, usually that's always the version of someone behind the curtain as well. So, this version of me half the time this is me, but this is caffeinated me, So I'm looking forward to that documentary. I can't wait to see it. I love any documentary about wrestling. I think it's truly fascinating. So I'm looking forward to it, man. And thanks for the question. You're fired. That's my Vince McMahon impression. All right, let's go to the next one. Caleb Haberick has become a question. Well, thanks, Caleb. And we'll see you around on the YouTube members shit. I'll post some videos here soon. I'll let you guys vote very soon. What type of video you guys want just for you? It's just us together in that community. And I like it. All right, the next one comes from James Norton, who says, "Hey, John. Just wanted to say I love that shirt. Zombies Ate My Neighbors was my first SNES game growing up." Well, man, if that was your first or last, that's a great game. I would love a really good remake of Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Really perfect. I would love to play the shit out of that. Oh God, don't get me started on Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I have the greatest pitch ever for a TV series for Zombies Ate My Neighbors. So Netflix, I know you're watching right now. Give me a call. Skylar Wheelock says, "What are the best you don't know who you're messing with scenes in movie history? Like where the son learns who John Wick is, or there's a dead guy at the other end of the fucking line from Heat. Oh, yo, homie, scene in Collateral. You don't know who you're messing with scenes? Ooh, shit. I'm sure there's a scene in Terminator that gives me exactly that. But I'm thinking of, God, that's a great scene. The Tom Cruise one from Collateral would be good. Oh, man, I'm trying to think of a scene like that. You caught me off guard. You stumped me. Well, I got to go to the chat. Tell me the movie that had the best you don't know who you're fucking with scene. Oh, okay, I'll give you one. This isn't exactly like he was confrontational face to face and then just kick some ass. But the one scene where it's like, you know what? Time to fucking pay the price, okay? You fucked up. Now it's time to pay. One for me would be in the film The Patriot, where they basically kill his son, burn his farm, and kidnap his other kid, played by Heath Ledger, and he just loses his shit. Mel Gibson runs out there with some tomahawks. That's the best you don't know who you're fucking with scene, or one of them. Oh, Gran Torino. That's another good one. He pulls out his imaginary gun. Shut the fuck up. That's also good. Yeah. What's another one here? Forrest Gump. Oh, no. Let's see what else someone has to say here. The Beekeeper, never saw it. Alec Baldwin airport scene in Miami Blues. I'm trying to think which one that is. All right. I'll let you guys answer. Taken, yeah, that's a good one. I'm sure there's some more iconic ones I'm not coming up with, but let me know if you guys come up with anything. Night King 01 says, "Oh yeah, the 4-hour cut of Napoleon came out and nobody talked about it. Also, some battle scenes are just the same but mirrored. I could barely get through the first Napoleon. I don't care if there's an extended cut that makes the movie better. I can't watch it again." Batman versus Bane, The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I could see that. I think Batman knew who he was messing with, though, but... Oh, also, one scene that comes to mind is in the movie Drive. Though it doesn't become a physical altercation, but when the driver's at the bar and the guy's trying to talk to him, and he's like, "Listen, if you don't shut your fucking mouth, I'm going to shut it for you." You know, he says something like that. I think that's a pretty cool scene. All right, the next one comes from, I'm going to try to talk a little faster. Hang on. Come on, I don't even remember where I was at in the questions. It's moving so fast. Okay. Avocado Balls Johnson once again says, "Avocado Balls Johnson is a real character, by the way." Well, that's fine, but I'm still going to give you credit for it. Skylar Wheelock says, "Would you rather fight one goose-sized up the..." What the fuck what are you saying here? "Would you rather fight one goose-sized up to the pigeon lady scale or 20 pigeon ladies shrunk to scale of a goose?" Whatever one I could probably kill the quickest. That's what I'm going for. James Dozier says, "Favorite WWE commentators? For me, I pick JR and Jerry the King." You know, I actually liked Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. I thought they added some fun to commentary on Raw. But JR is by far my favorite. By God, he's dead! It's like, that's awesome. Andy says, what are some types of movies you think you need to watch more of? Also, which directors whose films do you think you need to watch more of? I'm sure there's more independent films I should probably get into. I mean, I try to do my best to watch the ones that actually look entertaining to me. Some films that are very artsy are artsy for the sake of being artsy, and I want something compelling. I don't care what the budget is. But maybe I need to seek out more independent films. And I do my best. If anything looks captivating or compelling or has a good synopsis, I'll usually check it out. But there's probably smaller films I should check out that I've never seen, or some more foreign films. One director I need to watch more of their filmography would probably be Alfred Hitchcock. I've seen a handful of his films, but there's many more I've never seen, and maybe I should explore those one day. So those would be a few. All right, the next one comes from James Doshier, who says favorite. Oh, we answered that. Andy says, "What are some types of movies you think you?" Why did I answer that again? Okay, Elliot Cecil. This is a new question. Get ready for it. Is 1 pound of muscle a month good to grow? That's what I've been getting lately the past year. Well, you got to think you're also having some water and fat in there, man. So 1 lean pound of muscle a month, that's pretty damn good, isn't it? That's rather impressive. 12 pounds of muscle a year, that's pretty hard to do, man. I mean, but maybe you were skinny as a twig and this is your first time working out. So in that sense, maybe, but damn, 12 pounds of muscle a year? That's good stuff, man. Vincent Ibarra says, right bicep bigger than the left, John? No, both equally the same size. I promise you, I've measured. Maybe the left one's a hair smaller. Shut up. Let's go to the next question. Avocado Balls Johnson says, Arnold's biker outfit in T1 looked way better in T2. I've always wanted his jacket in the movie. It's badass. Unfortunately, you have to mortgage your left nut for quality leather jackets nowadays. Ain't that the truth? Arnold's jacket in the first film looked awesome and scary and so early 1980s. But that same jacket doesn't necessarily facilitate itself for the good guy of the movie in 1991. So I think the jacket aged appropriately. Julian says, John, can you please make a letterboxd? No, I would rather just talk about movies on YouTube. So if there's something you want to hear me talk about, just Google it. Starting a whole nother letterbox account, I would have to go through a backlog of so many movies. I literally just don't have the time to do it. Rubber Rock says, would you rather have a sleepover with Louis Bloom or Patrick Bateman? Probably Louis Bloom didn't seem like he was necessarily just going to kill you. Patrick Bateman might. But then again, me and Patrick Bateman could hang out, work out, and watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre together. But if he has newspaper clippings down on his floor, I'm definitely not staying there. The next one comes from, we answered this one earlier, Marcos, who has become a member. Well, thanks, Marcos. Rex says, what are some good TV shows to watch right now? One TV show that I recently just watched, and it came out a few years ago, was called Blackbird. It's on Apple TV. It's based on a real-life serial killer. And man, oh man, I quite enjoyed that series. It was kind of exactly what I wanted. So if you've never seen Blackbird, maybe check that out. Cool Keyboard Commando says, would you go into Dick's and steal men's tights? Yes. I thought that was a riddle at first. Okay, the next one comes from James Doshier, who says, have you seen the movie Hard Target from 1993? There's a lot of movies from the early 90s that all look like Hard Target, Hard Impact, Deep Impact, Yeah, they all kind of like blur together as action movies. Maybe not Deep Impact so much, but I don't know. Let me Google the cover of it. That could be any Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Oh my God, it was a Jean-Claude. I knew it was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Like, he had 8 movies that could have all been interchangeable titles. But he has a mullet in this one. God damn it, that looks great. Maybe I'll check it out sometime. I'm sure I've seen Hard Target. I've always quite enjoyed Lionheart when it comes to Van Damme movies. Van Damn it. Okay. Bob K and KC, thank you for the emojis. Murph, do you ever do hip thrust at the gym while maintaining eye contact with people walking by? No, I actually wear a baseball cap and huge headphones into the gym, so I don't have to look at people and they don't look at me. And I try to actually go to the gym when no one's there. The weird thing about life is at one point I liked when the gym was busy because I found it motivating and energetic. Now I go to the gym when it's dead because I simply cannot stand society. Hard Target is directed by John Woo. Yep. Maybe I need to go back and revisit it, man. It's been a minute. Kyle Denton says, hey, John, big fan of North Carolina. Oh, we answered that earlier, but once again, thanks, Kyle. Rubber Rock says, have you ever thought about doing live streams of you doing commentary of movies, no editing, just a mic, a bowl of popcorn, Swedish fish, a cold beverage, 3 ice cubes, no more, no less? No, I have. I would like to do an audio commentary. I just don't know if... Well, first thing I would like to do is I don't want to just do it by myself. I would definitely like at least a co-host to chime in every once in a while to kind of fill in the gaps. And it's always fun to have a conversation back and forth. But that's possible. I would like to do one. What would be a movie for me to do a good commentary track on? Let me know that right now in the chat. I need to know. Please tell me what you want. All right, the next one comes from Avocado Balls Johnson. Man, you are just killing it tonight in that super chat. Remember the Granny's peach tea jar of piss subplot in Batman v Superman? And with all that said, let me take a drink of this right now as we all remember the Granny's peach tea jar of piss subplot from Batman v Superman. Yeah, what a weird thing to put in a movie. How was that a thing that exists? By the way, that cinematic ass cancer is almost 10 years old. Well, speaking of Batman v Superman, my favorite scene, if you've forgotten, is when Lex Luthor puts the Jolly Rancher in the guy's mouth. Like, you can't do that. All right. Like, that's some Nicolas Cage shit. Come on. Rex says, what Halloween films are you looking forward to this year? Well, I would like to see Wolfman. I would like to, I know it's not a Halloween movie. It's coming out in December, but I'm hoping somehow, some way, Fantastic Fest plays the movie. Would be Nosferatu. I would love to see Nosferatu. But Heretic looks good, but oddly enough, that comes out in November. I'm seeing Terrifier 3 probably, but I'm trying to think of what are some other really good horror films you guys... Oh, I'm looking the Speak No Evil or Say No Evil with James McAvoy. Someone mentioned that earlier in the chat. I do want to see that. I know that's a remake of a foreign film, but someone said Cobra Kai has gotten super cringe. Cobra Kai is in another dimension of cringe. But what I do is whenever I have something else to do, I put Cobra Kai on in the background. And every time you look over, it's like, oh, these children and adult men can't solve their issues with communicating, so they keep having karate tournaments. Got it. Who has time for that? All right. But then again, I wish the world that we lived in, I wish all issues could be solved with a lighthearted karate tournament. That would be phenomenal, wouldn't it? Someone wants me to do a commentary track of the movie Twins. The adult sperm milkshake. That's a line Danny DeVito gives in Twins. I mean that when I say it. It's true. John, favorite historical movie? How based and how accurate does it have to be? I have many. I mean, how historically accurate? I mean, I like The Patriot, not quite historically accurate. I enjoy Gladiator, not really historically accurate, but takes place in an ancient time period. I like time period-esque films. For example, one of my favorites, though this is just based on a novel, but I love the time period, was something like Master and Commander. I think that is truly one of the most underrated movies of all time. Here's another one, not quite historically accurate, but Apocalypto from 2006, directed by Mel Gibson. But still, I love that time period. I love that story. I wish we got more movies like that. Oh, Troy. I love me some Troy. Oh, Brad Pitt's tan. Oh, just that man was a bronze god in that movie. Okay, what's you sack of wine? Let's go to the next one here. Dan Peters says, what's your home gym setup? I don't have a home gym, man. I just go to Planet Fitness occasionally or do some landscaping in the yard. That's what I'm doing nowadays. Faisal Hades says, it's like looking into a mirror, only not. I love it. Andy BK says, hi from Argentina. Been a fan for 9 years. Great you came back to YouTube full time. Hope you make live shows more than one a week. The goal is to at least do one of these live shows a week on this channel and potentially do another one on the Flickpick channel. I'm going to test out live shows on my main channel maybe next week. Like I said, 7 o'clock Monday night. We'll try it out. I might need to figure that out. The logistics of YouTube and streaming go beyond me. I know I look like a young, energetic dude, but I'm not. Really what I should look like is Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino right now talking into this microphone, because that's how I feel inside. All right, let's go to the next one here. Rex says, looking forward to the NFL starting tomorrow. I was really never into the NFL. You know, maybe occasionally I'll watch like a Super Bowl, but I've never really cared. Alex McCutcheon says, I know everybody deals with it, but when I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, your old videos really helped me out. Glad you're back, Johnny boy. Man, Alex, well, shit, man. Thanks for that, buddy. It's, it's just little things like that. You guys are the adrenaline shots I shoot into my biceps, I tell you. So thanks for that. Like, give me some more of that adrenaline, baby. You know what I felt like? To give you the best symbolism I can, the last few weeks, it felt like in the movie The Batman, when he's getting his ass beat and punched and shot, and he's laying on those catwalks above Gotham Arena, and he's down and out, and he takes that shot of adrenaline and just jams it right into his quad. Damn it, that's who you are. You guys are that adrenaline spike, and I thank you for that. Yeah, feels good. All right, let's go to the next one here. Juan Dowd says, Face Off is a sequel, not a reboot. Nick Cage and John Travolta will be reprising their roles. Okay, all right. So I can live with that. For some odd reason, I should have known that. But anyway, yes, please give it to me now. I don't care. I'll take it. Is John Woo directing it? Clark Ingleton says, what is the most deranged dream you've ever had? For legal reasons, I don't know if I can share this. But I've had some many weird, deranged dreams. You know, the scariest dreams I've had many where it feels like I'm waking up from this thing called the Matrix that we all live in. And it feels like I'm waking up and I'm in this other dimension that's a little bit more vivid and bright and slightly different, where the rules of physics don't make sense. But the reason I woke up into this other dimension from my Matrix coma was And yes, this is a podcast, a live show about movies. But the reason I wake up from this Matrix coma is I was awoken to simply see this giant rock hit this planet. And I don't know what planet it is. It could be Earth, but it looks way too good to be Earth and fantastical. And all of a sudden, this large heat wave overcomes me. And then I always wake up. And I tell myself, let's get up and get some iced coffee and eat some Pop-Tarts. So I hope that was fulfilling for you. I don't know if anyone else enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed that. Avery A says, John, have you ever been behind someone that's playing lottery at a gas station and wanted to bash their head into the wall? Take your ass. Yeah. So I'm telling you right now, this is when I know we live in the Matrix. And I know we're talking a lot about the Matrix tonight, but I got to get this out because it relates to the questions. I swear, and we might all have this same NPC character who haunts us. Every time I go to the gas station and I really need to be somewhere, somebody gets in front of me and buys 17 lottery tickets, every which one where they have to point to them. But by pointing to them, that is not a sufficient communication method. No. You have to point, then talk, and then keep pointing, but it's never quite the right ticket. So the clerk's always this one. And keep in mind, these are all numbered. So they could just say number 7, number 8, but they never do. And then they get the lottery tickets, and then they always stop to pay with cash or like loose change. And this loose change is just like falling out of their pockets, and it's all these old pennies with mold on them. And then it doesn't stop there. Once these people get their lottery tickets and pay with change, exact change, which takes 47 minutes to count out because keep in mind, they typically can't count, then they always buy a pack of cigarettes. And it's never just the most convenient one the clerk can reach for. No. This is always up to the right. You got to get on a ladder to get it. And by the time they come back, the sun has set. It's 3 hours later. And I'm just thinking to myself, what just happened? So yes, I have been behind people who buy lottery tickets before. And I hope that was a fulfilling answer. All right, let's go to the next one here. Skylar Wheelock says, do you ever watch The Next of Kin starring Patrick Swayze? I have seen that, and that was early, oh God, what is this? Liam Neeson, yes. Joey Ruiz, Lord of the Rings says, hey Johnny, your top 5 favorite catchphrases. Don't just look at it, eat it. I'll be back. This is it. Don't get scared now. How many was that? I must have drank myself about 15 Dr. Peppers. I don't know. Those are a few I quite love. Nick Gibson says, what's that in your pocket? A shark or something? That's another one I quite enjoy from Nicolas Cage. Thoughts on Thoughts on Nick Avocado's weight loss, probably the biggest plot twist in YouTube history. I didn't know who Nick Avocado was. I saw the before and after pictures. It looks crazy. So good for him, but I have no clue what's going on with that. I have not researched that, nor did I watch Nick Avocado. But I do talk to some guy in the chat named Avocado Balls quite often, apparently. So there's that. ADSD Vid says, The Brutalist is the Oppenheimer of 2024. It's A24. Oh, really? Okay. The Brutalist? That sounds like it could be cool. Now, I got to Google the synopsis here. All right. The Brutalist is a 2024 epic historical drama film written and directed by Well, okay. Can you give me the plot? The film chronicles 30 years in the life of Laszlo Thoth, a Hungarian-born Jewish architect who survives the Holocaust after the end of World War II. He immigrates to the United States with his wife. Okay. first you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. Or vice versa. I deem them one and the same. But either way, okay, I love a good, compelling Holocaust movie, because who doesn't? Does that sound weird? But that's the truth. One film I would have mentioned earlier when it comes to historical films is I love The Pianist. I love that film. I rewatch that movie probably once every 5 years because it makes me realize how brutal humanity has and will probably be again. Great movie. If you've never seen it, it stars Adrian Brody. Phenomenal movie. So speaking of that, I will watch it, man. Thank you for the recommendation, The Brutalist. Not only will I take your recommendation, I'll add it to the list. Okay, I'll check it out. The next one comes from Faisal Haiti. Says, thoughts on Long Legs and Late Night with the Devil. Late Night with the Devil was okay. I kind of thought it got stale and was... It feels like Late Night with the Devil should have just been a short film, and maybe it was or something, and they made a feature. I thought there was more they could have done with it, and the direction it eventually started going, I was like, oh, that's it? But it felt like a great concept for a story that takes place in one location. I don't know if I liked the execution. Thoughts on Long Legs? I talked about that on an earlier live show, I believe, but I liked it, didn't love it. I wouldn't deem it the scariest movie ever made. And I would much prefer to watch something like Silence of the Lambs over Long Legs, which Long Legs kind of sort of borrowed some ideas from Silence of the Lambs and then made this art house horror version of it, which is fine. And I liked some of the things in it, but yeah, it just didn't feel like it ever pushed the limits I was thinking it would. Maybe it was overhyped. You know, I thought it was okay. Isn't John Travolta's character dead? Well, no. Nicolas Cage's character is dead in Face Off. John Travolta lived. But hey, maybe the twist is it wasn't really him. It was a different face. No, wouldn't that be awful? All right. And then the new movie, he's walking like Nicolas Cage is walking around looking like Glenn Powell. Hey, beautiful. I never thought you'd be here today. You know, just Jesus. All right. Dustin Rich says the MCU needs to take at least 10 years break and then reboot. Agree? Robert Downey Jr. as Doom is so desperate and sad. Listen, I think it's interesting. And now I know what they're doing. I get what they're doing. They're pulling out their Hail Mary. I get what they're doing, but I think if we can go the direction that we weren't going for like the last 4 years with Thor Love and Thunder and movies like Ant-Man, Quantumania, if that was a learning lesson and a low point to get to the next big phase, I'm okay with it. I don't want 10 years away from that universe. If anything, I think what they should do, here's what I would do if I was Marvel. You don't need 4 new MCU Marvel movies a year with every character. You don't need those. 1 might be sufficient, right? Sparse those out. But what I do want more of, so we can step away from, I guess, the Avengers, let's step away and focus on the mutant-verse of things with the X-Men. We have a whole nother universe over here. A very large, dynamic universe of captivating characters that can have their time to shine. We can have a solid 15 years or 10 years building up to all those epic showdowns. So to me, I think it's a much more fascinating universe that I've been waiting for. So let's step away from what we're doing now with like Iron Man and Captain America and all that shit. Because like you said, we can give it a break. Less is more at this point. And let's focus on the mutant-verse. And then by the time we get back to Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk, well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it'll feel special again. But yeah, at some point they're just going to have to reboot it into another multiverse, blah, blah, blah. So that's the great news is we'll keep getting different variations of all this same shit for the next 50 years. Like, give it 30, 40 years, and I know I'm going to be watching, like, the third new reboot of Captain America. All right. The next one comes from, I need to read a little bit quicker here. Okay. Nick Gibson says, thoughts on Nick Avocado. Did we answered this? Rebel Rock says, Blackbird was really good. Taron Egerton is such an underrated actor. What's your favorite role of his? His role as Elton John is underappreciated. I saw Rocket Man like once. I thought he did good. Taron Egerton, I liked. Can I be honest with you? His character in Blackbird kind of reminded me of myself for like 3 seconds at one point. That was weird to watch. And he also reminded me of Don John quite a bit. But I'm trying to think. Taron Egerton was in. No, that's not what I'm. Oh, do you remember when he was in the Robin Hood movie? That was fun, wasn't it? I don't know. Kingsman, I thought he played like a good rowdy teenager, I guess. Oh, I forgot he was in Eddie the Eagle. That was actually interesting. Let's just go with Eddie the Eagle to be different today. How about that? Starring the great Hugh Jackman. All right, the next one comes from Rubber Rock, who says, have you watched Bad Monkey on Apple TV with Vince Vaughn? It's I'm halfway through the season 1, and it's actually pretty good. Plus, Latino lead actress is so hot. Well, geez, man. Bad Monkey, I've never seen it. All right. A lot of people said Kingsman is his best performance. I mean, that's a fair point. Claudia Rogajon says, be honest. Would you want to be part of Bodhi's crew from Point Break, or would you rather be on the side of Johnny Utah? At one point in my life, I probably would maybe want to hang out with Bodhi's crew for like 2 days. But first and foremost, I'm afraid of heights, so skydiving is going to be terrifying. Surfing looks okay, but I wouldn't want to live my life by it and do it every single day. So truth be told, I'd probably be on Johnny Utah's side. But every once in a while, I'd break away from the mundane reality of being an FBI agent and maybe go surfing occasionally. And maybe rob a bank if I'm feeling frisky. I don't know. Avocado Balls Johnson says, I'm currently drunk off my ass on $2 Polish piss swill beer. What? Polish piss? What are you drinking over there, man? I'm a Jack and Coke kind of guy. A Diet Coke. Because I like to keep it slightly classy. My last question is, would you rather drink a pint of Pigeon Lady sweat or huff a tank of Steven Seagal's rotting egg burps? I would rather eat... I was going to say I would rather eat Steven Seagal's ass, but I would much rather eat Steven Seagal's ass than drink a pint or even get within a 10-foot proximity of the Pigeon Lady. I mean that. You can quote me on that. Caleb says, John, I was excited as hell you're coming back to YouTube. I can't wait for more videos. You are my favorite person on this platform. Do you believe in hell? Wow, man, you threw a lot at me there. I believe there's a version of hell that we can all live in, yes. But I believe at some points in our life we may be living it. But then again, I don't know anything. There could be a whole nother level to this video game we're playing that I don't know, and it might terrify you once you get there. So you might want to get some bonus points on this stage before you go to the next one, with the showdown against the final boss. Because he's going to beat the shit out of you, and you're going to need a few coins and an extra life left over. If it was up to me, I would take the feather, so I have a yellow cape and I can fly. I'm talking about Super Mario World, if you didn't know. Anyway, well, thanks for that first part of the question, man. That does mean a lot. And I hope I gave you a philosophical response to the next part. If I didn't, I'm sorry, it's getting late. And I think I'm going to wrap up the live show in like 2 seconds. So don't ask any more questions, but I will answer a few more. So don't go anywhere. Murph says, my soon-to-be mother-in-law is staying with us for a week. How do I survive? You know what you do? Here's the beauty of cinema. It's great. It's phenomenal. Just watch a lot of movies together. You're together. You're watching them. You can even be eating at the same time. But the beauty is you don't have to interact. You can just experience this beautiful story and no one has to say anything, but we're all together. And it's great. So, yeah, I would put on some movies, man. That's what I would do. Or, I don't know, give the family some cash to go to the zoo all day while you stay home and mow the lawn. That's what I would do. All right. All right, YouTube members, if you're in here, I'm reading the normal chat right now. So if you guys are in the normal chat, ask away. This is your time to shine. Ask some questions. I'm looking right now. GFE says, John, what's the best movie experience you've had with your family? I remember going to some drive-ins when I was a kid. I remember living in Ohio when I was like 5 years old, and we would go to see movies every weekend. And one of those movies was me and my dad went to see like The Three Musketeers, or we would hang out on the weekends and go see movies like The Lion King or Last Action Hero or True Lies. Those are some pretty good family movie memories, but yeah. Like I remember going to see like, and this, so I went to see Titanic with my mom in 1997. It was December, correct? Am I correct in that? Yes, maybe I am. And I remember being super hyped about it. And that to me was the most anticipated movie of my young life because I was really into the Titanic. I was a nerd. Yeah, that's right. The Titanic sunk April 14th, 1912. Why do I know that? I don't know. But anyway, I remember being really hyped to see that movie. And that was such a fun theater experience. And my mom was there, but I also remember my mom was there when Kate Winslet got naked and had Jack draw her like one of his French girls for 10 cents. And I said, so it just takes a nickel. That's it? Or a dime. It takes a dime. I'm always getting this wrong. I bring nickels and it takes a dime. That's my problem. But yeah, that was a fun movie experience. I remember crying when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time. I think I was just being a whiny little bitch. I hope my dad slapped me and took me right back in the theater. John, what is your pitch for Zombies Ate My Neighbors? Well, the truth is it's sort of reminiscent to Stranger Things, but not as dark. Maybe a little more fun. So, but I don't want to spoil my pitch. I can't release that. I'm going to save that for one day. But it's solid, and it includes a squirt gun, but the squirt gun does not contain holy water. It contains gasoline. That's one aspect of it. But yeah, there's this. Sorry. Yes, can I save my pitch? I'm waiting for the studio execs to call me one day, but if they don't, I'll share it on some live stream down the road. Best movie to watch on VHS high? I don't know, man. My favorite thing to watch on VHS was the opening commercials to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1991, where it has that Pizza Hut commercial with the little kids playing baseball. I play right field. You know, like, I love it. And they all go to Pizza Hut. Have you ever been to Canada? I have been to Windsor, Canada. Yes. I went there for a few days once. Back in my youth. The next one comes from, did you see the 2025 Wolfman teaser? I did see it. I'm not necessarily in love with the costume or whatever is going on, but I am looking forward to it. John, can you give me your pitch for Nightcrawler 2 and I'll direct it? I think Lou Bloom needs to go up against someone who's as sinister and evil as he is, but maybe more cognitive. And I think it needs to be maybe a like another competing Nightcrawler. I like that he opened up I like how the movie ends off with him starting like two separate teams. And I think there'd be like some interesting storylines you can intersect in there with who those characters are. I hope they're weird and quirky because who else would do a job like this? So I'm hoping for something like that. But really, you need an antagonist of this, because Lou Bloom is technically an antagonist, but I think it needs someone worse than he is. So I don't know. Do what you will with that. Also, I think there's an entire other aspect you could cover with Nightcrawler, talking about social media at this point as well. I think there's something you could dive into there. Hiram Lavonos says, have you ever seen the movie The Warriors? Can you dig it? Hiram, not only have I seen The Warriors practically raised me when I lived in the streets. That second part's not quite true, though I did live in a trailer when I was a child once. But anyway, yes, I did watch, I've seen The Warriors a million times. One of my favorite films. It was, if you go back and watch my old ass cringeworthy video of my top 20 movies of all time, I talk about The Warriors, and I think it's number 20 on the list. Warriors come out. Like, my favorite line of that movie is, pay for what? I love it. I love that movie. And for many, many years, they were talking about doing a remake or a modern day version of The Warriors. And if you can get the tone right, I'm all for it. I don't want some modern day, like, urban culture movie that takes place in Los Angeles, where I think that was actually the synopsis once, to make it like real gang members, which I think in some regard could actually work. But when I think of The Warriors, I want outlandish gangs. I want guys dressed like baseball players with their faces painted. I want crazy shit. So that's what I would hope, tonally speaking, if they ever do make a new Warriors movie. The next one comes from where are we? Okay. Maybe one more question here. Oh, I love you too. Thanks, man. Would you rather see Dubai or Singapore? Why? Probably Singapore, but Dubai looks pretty cool. I'd like to definitely see the Dubai Tower. Hey, John, will you do an update on your 4K collection? Maybe at some point. I do have an extensive 4K collection, and I do have some really cool steelbooks. Those two shelves back there on those are all steelbooks. Like, that's just my overflow of steelbooks back there on 4K. So maybe I could do one of those at some point. I'm probably going to do a video on everything within the next like 6 months. So if there's an idea that you've wanted me to do, I'll probably make it happen here in the next like 6 months to a year. But the videos like that relax me, so I don't mind doing one. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the live show there. We've been talking for over 2 hours, but I want to leave you with this. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for always being there. And one more question here. Unpopular opinion about The Warriors, but I think the video game is better than the movie. I never really played the video game, but that is quite a statement. So, with all of that said, thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you like this, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And remember, next Monday, the plan is to do a brand new live show over on the Flickpick channel at 7 o'clock Eastern Time next Monday. That's my main channel. The link's down below. Have a good night. Thanks for joining me, guys. Stay safe. Take care. Bye.